Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. And video today from O'Shea Duke Jackson. I really wanted to cover this MTR thing.
And I know y'all been experiencing that, and I hate to say it. Actually, no, I don't hate to say it. The majority of this is the black women in Atlanta. Some of the worst servers.
You know, I always thought it was funny because MTR was not a big fan of Passport Bros. He thought it was a kind of a cop-out kind of thing. But now, look at him. Look at him. Again, I always say, just experience it. Go out there and see the world, people. It might change your perspective on life.
No wonder the black man just be complaining so much about the treatment.
On May 7th, 2026, content creator Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews made a video called Why I'm Stepping Away from YouTube.
So long story short, I just need a break. I need a break. And for how long? I don't know.
He would go on to name 2 reasons as to why this was occurring. The first is he's been cancer-free for 5 years and wanted to take some time off to celebrate that. And then also, he's never really healed from his father passing in June.
That is a hard thing to heal from. A passing of a parent, especially one that is your favorite parent. This is what my best friend always says. I still have my dad, right? But it's not the same to be successful, to do all these great things because your favorite parent isn't there anymore. Yes, I have one parent. I love my father, but I also love my mother, and she doesn't get to see all the things I got to build. It is such a hard thing. I go through it quite often, you know, behind the scenes and stuff, but I can understand why people have to walk away from things for time periods, because not everyone's a robot. I'm a fucking robot, right? I just put the feelings to the side, keep doing what I'm doing. Why? Because feelings. And I was raised in a very Asian household. Feelings don't matter. Feelings are just feelings. It's things that you feel inside. What matters is the tangible outside. That's how kind of I was taught, right? And losing a loved one, especially again a parent that raised you, you love, that you confide in, it's unrepairable.
2023. Thirdly, being a content creator posting every day is a burnout, and he wanted to refresh.
Guys, I've been doing what? I currently do 6 videos a day. You know, 4 on this channel, 2 on my other channel. I'm at 4,600 something videos uploaded, or like 4,500 something videos uploaded. I've only missed like 2 days or 1 day because I got a community guideline strike and they literally made it so I couldn't post, but then it got reversed, but it made it so I couldn't post for those 2 days. I don't particularly feel the burnout. I guess for me, it's part of my life that I have to do this now. Like I literally wake up every morning at 5 to do this, and I go to the donut shop about 9 or 10. So I get out my 6 videos or so, and then I'll come home and do a little bit more videos depending on how far behind I am. And today I got out a little early, so I needed to do some videos, but it can be tiring. But sometimes you just got to keep doing what you got to do.
But he didn't tell people where he was going. Then we saw this post that said, "Needed this more than I knew. Rest, reset, get back to yourself. The mission isn't going anywhere."
He's right, you know.
Now, MTR wouldn't post another video until May 28th, 2026, when we would then find out his actual location. I left America for Thailand and realized we've been lied to. That was the first of 5 videos that...
Yeah, again, I talk about Passport Bros and just, you know, traveling abroad all the time. Some people don't like it, but a lot of detractors and haters nowadays are starting to realize we weren't lying, right? Like The women are just different. Society is different. Everything is cheaper, right? Men get treated differently. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. Men just get treated differently in other countries. I'm not saying every country is good. I'm just saying other countries are different.
That he would post on the subject. Now, while all 5 videos have different degrees of information, cumulatively, we can understand that his messaging is broken down into 3 components. The first is dating and relationships.
They want loud and strong, yet quiet and reserved at the same goddamn time. They want at a moment's notice that you got to defend their armor. You got to be the rough, tough, bad guy. All right. At a moment's notice, you got to be the Super Saiyan dick slinger. All right. You got to put that thing up on the table.
This is 100% true. You really got to lay down pipe, guys. Like, I don't know how you're going to get the practice in to get good at laying down pipe, but you need the practice.
Which, from my experience, it's not too bad of expectations, but, that corporate Tupac it blows my mind. But as a man who is charismatic, you understand that there's a certain game that you have to play.
Correct.
In respect, like, how many of the dudes that are successful in the dating game, but like low key, are addicted to video games, right? But they don't let that component of their realness or their personality come out.
We talk about this. Be a mystery. Don't tell them everything about yourself. Don't tell them everything you're doing. Let them guess. Let them create that Superman vision of you and keep it that way. Keep them in that guessing stage of how of a Superman are you.
Now, it's important to understand that MTR has a much broader audience than me.
Yes.
I typically focus on Black people, and MTR has a focus that's more wide-ranging. But he did give a hint.
Yeah, it's funny because O'Shea does really focus on Black people, but I cover O'Shea quite often because what O'Shea covers really affects men in general. That's why I've always covered O'Shea.
At the Black community here and talking about this idea of corporate thugs. In other words, you need to be a very charismatic guy to get the typical Black woman in America.
But you need to be dangerous.
You need to be very hood, then at the same time, very smart, then to be able to clap cheeks very good. And your personality needs to be stretched so wide to cover all of this territory, which really shouldn't be necessary. But he would contrast that to Thailand.
When you're in a place where it's completely different and you're not held to the standards or the comparisons of those around you.
Now, in comparisons to having to be the corporate thug for a lot of women, especially in the Black community, these norms don't really matter.
It's funny because I guess I would be known as the corporate thug in the Asian community, right? I've been to jail twice, pretty bad offenses overall. Used to have a pretty rough life growing up, doing those types of things. And as I grew up, I straightened out, try to do better. Now I don't really do anything illegal in a sense, but I still have that background.
In places like Thailand. Now, I'm in Uganda, and Ugandans are Black, and just like Kenyans are Black also. But these parameters that Black men in America have to be under are not the same, even in African or Black-based countries, such as Uganda, Nigeria.
I could tell you the truth. It's very similar in the Asian community. Like women in the Asian community really like the thugs also. And Asian thugs are a little bit different than Black thugs, but it's the same group of thugs, right? It's not just because you're Black or white and they're Black or white or Asian or whatever. Like, no, they just like that look, that bravado of a person is the thug life.
Nigeria and Kenya. And this is one of the reasons why you have so many brothers coming here. You can be a good man, you can be a provider, you can be yourself. You don't have to fake the funk just to be around a lady in these other countries, and they could still view your masculinity. Mm-hmm. And speaking of masculinity, Well,
and they more than likely want a man that's already finished the race as opposed to running the race with you.
most women wait at the finish line in America. Women don't want you until you become somebody in America, which is typically how it works everywhere, to be honest. But
True.
Here's the catch. When you're a man in America and you're trying to build yourself to obtain the kind of woman that you want physically, at the same time, this woman is dealing with a man that she's attracted to who can't do anything for you. And then what often happens is the guy who becomes the producer has the advantage over the woman who's just sitting there waiting at the finish line. And then if you don't deal with this woman because you no longer want her or she has kids, somehow, some way, you don't like black women.
Or you're gay. Don't forget that one. We always turn gay all of a sudden.
You don't like American women, and you're just exercising your options. The issue is so many women have underestimated men that they never thought that these guys will become something.
True.
So once these guys become something, they don't want you like you want them because you were not invested into their future. And then this part.
Women are not asking how much that you make, right? There's still an expectation of,
Taking
hey,
care of things.
you know, he's the man, he's gonna get, and that's fine. But when you're doing it in a place where it's literally 80 to 90% less money than what you're used to, I gave an example within that story, and I said, you know, if I get chicken fried rice in Atlanta, it's $22, $23. If I go get chicken fried rice with tax, if I go get chicken fried rice over here, it's like $2, $3.
Now, dating in America, women do want to know how much you make.
Trust me, guys, my favorite dish in Cambodia was literally $1.25. And my fat ass American self had to eat like 3 dishes to be full. So it was like $3.75 to eat 3 portions of freshly made noodles, fresh vegetables, meat. Delish.
If they don't want to know how much you make, they'll ask you, well, what is your career? And then from there, they'll go and they'll try to estimate what your earnings are. That way,
It is very easy to know how much people make nowadays by just Googling their career, how long they've been in it.
if she's kind of like moderately attracted to you, she knows if she should stay or not. But if you've dated overseas, I've never had any woman that asks me, how much money do you make?
I have not ever dated overseas, but I have chit-chatted with some women out there.
Very rarely do I have a woman ask me what my career is. And so when you're dealing with a woman who doesn't really care about those intricate details, what it lets a man know is that, oh, she is more genuinely interested in me
Correct.
as an individual. And of course, if I'm a man, I can take care of her and provide for her. That's a no-brainer. But is the woman necessarily genuine? And this is what his critiques were when it came to dating and relationships in America versus what he's seeing right now in Thailand. But then the second part of all of this was masculinity in manhood.
The American dream. What is that anymore? Is that even a thing?
It is a thing. I feel like I'm personally living it. You know, I came to this country when I was 5 years old, struggled, my family did all the things they needed to do, and now I do okay in life. You know, like I don't know what else I could do in my own country. Like if I was born in, like I was raised in Cambodia to this point, I would not be as successful or have experienced the things I have. So I am very grateful of America and the American dream because I think it's still achievable. It's just a lot of people don't think it is because they kind of gave up on it.
What's the American dream in 2026? What does that look like?
Now, this is a very important point because in the times of my grandfather, our father, the American dream was much more attainable. People,
Yeah, white picket fence, family. I think that was the traditional view of American dream.
at that particular time in the 70s or 60s, you could be earning $30,000 in the year if you had a really good job. And a single family home in Sacramento can cost like $40,000 in a year. So you could typically pay off a house within 5 to 6 years if you're really focused, especially if you had a 2 parent income or two people in the household. However, right now with the current economy, the American dream is not what it used to be for men. A lot of men in the middle class can't afford to take care of women as before. And then to add the fuel to the fire to this.
Specifically for a man, one of which it seems as though it is now popularized to make you not feel good for being a man.
Yeah.
It seems as though it is normalized to hate men. Men ain't shit. Men are dogs.
This is probably the strongest point to me because what I have noticed is...
It's funny because like O'Shea hasn't been in the U.S. and hasn't lived in the U.S. for that long. Or, I mean, in a while, it seems. He's been in, Gambia for a bit. But he does cover a lot of these topics.
There's so much hatred towards men for just existing in America, especially black men, but I'm pretty sure all races. Yeah. Even if you are a man that supports the interests of women, or even black women in particular, I've seen those men take a lot of, unnecessary treatment. Now, Uganda is not perfect.
Oh, sorry, Uganda.
Nor Thailand is perfect. But one thing is true here. Men are very, very much respected. I believe that.
That's what I said, right? Men are just treated differently.
Richie Mack was telling me, shout out to Zoom to Thailand. People always call him sir. How are you doing? There's a lot of respect for what men do in the society. And that's very true in Uganda and Kenya. Women respect you if you're a man, you're a builder, you're providing, you're courteous. This is a respect thing. Whereas in America,
yeah, you can be Elon Musk and people don't respect you. Right? I'm not saying that person in general, but work so hard to achieve that high of an echelon in life. Women still shit on you.
People kind of believe that you ought to do it. You should do it. Period. Got him. Your generosity should be just the basics. It's the bare minimum. When really it's not the bare minimum. You don't deserve a man to just give you, what he has. You have to earn it. And this is the thing that I've noticed overseas, that people really, really respect that. Your masculinity is not toxic in these places. It's encouraged, right? People want.
It's funny because he's not wrong, right? Because I've hired a lot of Asian ladies and like the older Asian ladies that have owned their own donut shops themselves for a few years. And now they work for me and stuff. And just the way they view me is so different than how Americans women view me. They view me in somewhat awe because I work so damn hard. They see me literally working at the shop every day. They see me do all these things. They see me remodeling, painting, and doing all like the things that they don't really see owners usually do, right? And they're just always praising me, and it feels weird. It feels weird because you're not used to it. You're not used to how real women view real men, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because Asian women that are from Cambodia, that are the old ladies that are working for me now, have very traditional views and very, the man does all this, then he deserves a lot if he is going to handle this much business.
Want men to develop the society, and women want real men. And you can be a real masculine man without being abusive towards women or towards society. Whereas you're not toxic if you don't fit a particular agenda. And we won't talk about what that is right now. So that is his concern here. The American dream and the misandry towards men is something that is driving men away in general. But the third piece would be quality of life.
Why is it that now, I make incredible revenue, but I'm still on this hamster wheel, so much so that I'm unable to click on that pause button and just smell the roses?
I can agree with MTR on this, right? I live in California, so it's a little bit different. My living costs are quite high and taxes are quite high here. But yeah, I tend to hustle harder and more because I want to acquire more money to live a better life. But I could easily go to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam and live a much easier life with the current income I make now. From just YouTube alone, I can travel and still collect YouTube income. The donut shop and all my other businesses are obviously, I have to sell them off or something, or have someone run them to where I don't have to be here ever, which is rare.
Now, MTR is a very successful YouTuber and content creator. He makes a lot more money than me. Even though a person like him is drowning in the cash, he's saying, I feel like I'm on the hamster wheel. And this is important because a lot of men are told you need to make a lot of money, you need to do very well. And then it comes to the point when you made so much money, you've done extremely well, and obviously you buy nice things or you invest the money, and you're doing the same thing literally over and over and over and over every day. And now you become a slave to what should have freed you, which was your financial freedom. And that's it.
No, I feel that way sometimes about the donut shop, right? I bought the donut shop. It was quite expensive, and I'm stuck there now almost every single day until I get everything automated, right? I just gave myself more work. I paid to give myself more work, pretty much.
Exactly what a lot of men have thought about is, you know, I'm doing good. I'm a doctor. I'm a truck driver. I'm this and that. And, you know, you got an apartment that's $3,000 a month. You got a car note that's $1,500 a month. And now you need more money to sustain that lifestyle. And you don't get a chance to enjoy life. And that would bring up to his next point.
Walking around these streets and feeling ease, peace. I'm looking at all of the people smile, laugh.
He noticed that the people of Thailand, they're always happy and excited about life, even if they are not rich. In other words, money isn't everything.
I always say it, money isn't the end all be all, but it's very important.
Clapping cheeks isn't everything. Enjoying life as a man who nobody really cares about you is everything. And I thought this was a very interesting video from my brother. I mean, we've been emailing since he's been away. I was kind of mad that he didn't take me so I could get on some of them elephants too out there. But this was a really good and genuine post as a content creator from MTR.
I loved it. I watched a lot of the videos myself. Just like, hey, proud. I'm proud that he took the chance to go out there and experience it. Whereas sometimes, as much as we say we're gonna do things, we end up not.
He's very genuine with his audience and also very vulnerable. And that's why people like him. And I thought that it was really encouraging to the men out there, including myself. I mean, I work, you know, very hard in this business, but take time for yourself if you can.
Yeah.
Even if I don't do it all the time like I should, you should, and I'm gonna do it. Take time for yourself. If that means leaving what you consider the rat race in America to going to a more peaceful country, you don't have to impress anybody. You don't need to have Benzes. You don't need to have cars. You don't need to have all this stuff.
You don't need to, but if you want it, then work your ass for it.
To live a life, most men don't even need that stuff. I think you should do what exactly is best for you. And living in these other countries, people are figuring it out that, hey, listen, the United States is not the end all be all. There are other opportunities.
I mean, opportunity wise, it's still the best, in my opinion, one of the best. To make money, to grow, just not to have a family. So, and maybe live for long term.
Out there are other people that I can make friends with, I can build a new life with. And men are exercising that option every day. And shout out to the Passport Bros, because they're the ones that have really put it out there that you don't have to be a slave if you don't want to. As long as you can support yourself, you have opportunities out there.
Shout outs to O'Shea and MTR for that one. Like, again, it's always funny. People are always like, oh, you're watching a reaction of a reaction. I'm like, yeah, so we can all talk about it together. Like the three of us, you know, how I put my input in, O'Shea puts his input in, MTR puts his input in. You just heard three creators' input in one video. It's kind of like a valuetainment thing. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.